This is what your male DNA looks like. Is it really possible your male DNA has led to secrets you can use to slash pounds of fat and build rock-solid lean muscle at the same time? The answer is yes. Hi, I'm Kyle Leon, and in this short presentation, you're going to see what Men's Health magazine has come to call the perfect body formula for guys because of how it targets and kills lower belly fat while packing on inches of muscle to your genetically weakest body parts like underdeveloped arms or shoulders. And the best part is these breakthrough fat burning and muscle building tips you'll be learning have been proven effective no matter what your body type or where you're starting from. Now maybe this sounds far-fetched, but stay with me. I promise you'll be glad you did. I'll admit, when this new research first came across my desk, I had serious doubts. You see, as an international fitness author, I've been lucky enough to have been able to help tens of thousands of guys in over 150 countries achieve rapid muscle building and fat loss results. And I've never seen anything like this, which is why I'm so excited for you to see this video today. Now, it turns out a large TV network is interested in the rights to use these breakthrough tricks on a reality show because audiences will love seeing the kind of dramatic transformations they deliver, like you're seeing here. So I urge you to watch this video now, as it might have to come down very soon. What the network found most fascinating about these transformations is that all of these guys, young and old, had different body types and different muscle building and fat loss needs, but they all ended up ripped after using the tips you're about to see. Not only that, but all of these men displayed amazing increases in self-confidence, strength, health, and a startling increase in physical attractiveness as rated by 109 female test subjects. Can you imagine how amazing it would feel to quickly and dramatically torch stubborn belly fat while packing on lean muscle in all of the right places? Well, there's a brilliant guy behind these breakthrough tips you'll use to make this happen that I'd like to introduce you to. His name is John Barbon. John is considered by many the world's leading consultant in the supplement performance industry, and chances are, if you've taken any effective supplement in the last 10 years by any of the biggest companies, you've seen his work. But not to confuse you, these tips are not about supplements. John is also a world-class expert in nutrition, physiology, biology, and has taught human performance at the University of Florida. Pretty much just an all-around stud. However, strangely enough, none of John's degrees, world-class certifications, or breakthrough supplement formulations could ever compare to the impact of a weird discovery he made that the media now calls the perfect body formula. John's become a good friend of mine, which is why I might be able to get away with telling you he is not a naturally lean or muscular guy, and if we're being honest, he was dealt a pretty crappy genetic hand. And I'm talking about a genetic hand the exact opposite of a perfect body, and more like a pear-shaped body.
Well, thanks for the crappy genetic hand and the pear-shaped body comments, Kyle. Hi, John Barbon here. What Kyle is saying is true, though, which, in all honesty, is the reason why I started studying the human body so passionately years ago. I've dedicated most of my adult life looking for ways to overcome my genetics and help other guys do the same. Although I was always frustrated with my genetic cards, I do remember the tipping point that set me on the path to getting over the anxious and embarrassing feeling of taking my shirt off around others. I was changing in the back of a locker room where I could face the wall and hide my body like I always did before another fruitless workout to reduce my stomach flab and build my non-existent chest. Anyhow, there was a brand new mirror on that back wall where there used to be just brick. And I will never forget how mortified I was to see the soft, skinny, pear-shaped body, as Kyle called it, just staring back at me and every other guy in the locker room. And that was it. Now forget about having to worry about my body at the pool, beach, or what a girl would think of me with my shirt off. This was way beyond that now, and there was nowhere to hide. Call it a complex, an obsession, or whatever you want. But the truth is my body was negatively affecting everything from my self-confidence to my social and dating life to my studies and work. Maybe you know what that feels like or can relate on some level. Maybe you train your butt off, try to eat right, but hate looking in the mirror with your shirt off because you see the same useless body fat or muscles that make you look like you've never even lifted a weight in your life. Well, that's exactly how I felt, and I can tell you with more certainty than you know, it's not your fault. I was pretty much ready to just give up the losing battle I was having with my genetics when I stumbled upon the answer that ended up paving the way for me to overcome my genetics and get the body I never thought I deserved or could have. Now, surprisingly, the answer wasn't in any classroom, anything the diet or fitness industry had ever produced, or even any of the strategies that my world record-holding powerlifter and champion bodybuilder friends used. Oddly enough, the answer appeared when I obsessively shifted my focus to human anatomy, genetics, psychology, and attraction research in an attempt to identify what kind of male build has been proven to create the most admiration, respect, and physical attraction. After all, I'm sure you'll agree that these aspirations are the main reasons why you and I work out in the first place. So being honest with myself about why I wanted a better body helped me discover the one true perfect male form that has been ageless and timeless for thousands of years, that studies prove that women, get this, are involuntarily attracted to, and other males can't help but respect, admire, and even fear. Now, imagine the best you can what kind of build that might look like, so you can see how close you were in just a second. I'll warn you though, studies show you'll overestimate by almost 30 pounds, so if you're picturing some juiced-up monster, start again, because most women don't relate to that look or even find it attractive, and even men have a bias against it. Rather, it's a male form subconsciously realized by the greatest artists in history, such as Michelangelo's sculpture of David, to Greek mythology's chiseled gods like Adonis, and even all the way up to modern-day Hollywood. At some level, you subconsciously know the form and have pictured yourself with it many times. It's the purest, most powerful, and most attractive shape a male can possess. It's a form of perfect proportion, proven to elicit strength, power, admiration, and magnetic attraction from females. And what's weird is that it's been shown that any guy with any body type or genetics can achieve this proportion and the limitless advantages that naturally follow. Now let me explain, and this will blow your mind. I discovered this proportion when studying the very structure of your male DNA, and then found it evident in all the purest forms of male evolution. Amazingly, after further studying this phenomenon, I learned you anatomically already possess this perfect proportion right now underneath your exterior, because nature intended it. This special proportion is known as the Adonis Golden Ratio. This perfect proportion is what study after study proves women are genetically and evolutionarily hardwired to seek out and be attracted to, and men respect, because it displays the highest degree of genetic fitness. It's a very specific and perfect proportion of your waist to your shoulders that creates an immediate subconscious admiration from both sexes, which is referred to as the Adonis effect. The Adonis effect is the powerful subconscious effect and influence that your physical presence has on others that is proven to be extremely advantageous in all areas of life. You can think of it like the ultimate first impression. You see, as much as we know not to judge a book by its cover, we are just genetically and subconsciously programmed to do so within the first 4 seconds. What's astonishing is that losing fat and increasing lean muscle, strength, and performance is exceptionally easier and faster when you achieve this proportion, because then your body is in its strongest, most natural form evolution meant for it to be in. But unfortunately, the reverse is also true. The further you are from your Adonis Golden Ratio, the more painstakingly difficult losing fat and building lean muscle becomes, because you're just not in the form your evolutionary genetics intended for you to be in. Simply put, the further you are from this ratio, the more difficult the struggle becomes to make any noticeable progress. Oh, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer or the bearer of more bad news, but there's something else you should know. Research shows that if a woman is going to cheat, she'll likely cheat with a male whose body is closer to the Adonis Golden Ratio than her partner's. Whereas research also shows a woman with a partner in the Adonis Golden Ratio is least likely to stray because she's subconsciously programmed to know that she has the genetically strongest male. These evolutionary truths cannot be controlled. But the good news is they can be used to your advantage. You're actually programmed genetically to have this ratio. But the problem is male evolution hasn't adapted to the damaging effects of the modern Western lifestyle yet, which makes attaining it virtually impossible without the right tools and without avoiding the things that take you away from your Adonis Golden Ratio. Here are a few tips that will help. Number 1, ditch heavy deadlifts, weighted abdominal crunches, and magazine bodybuilding programs. You may not realize this, but heavy deadlifts and weighted abdominal crunches expand your waist, take you out of proportion, increase your risk of injury, and ultimately make you look worse and less attractive. Yet surprisingly, almost all bodybuilding programs have you doing the things taking you away from your strongest leanest, most muscular, and ideal form, mainly because you're starting these programs out of proportion in the first place. Here's a quick example. You could very well be doing everything right to build a more muscular chest, but your body naturally fights against letting this happen because growth would take you even further away from your strongest form. So your body is just naturally protecting you from injury by not building muscle. Simply put, getting into the right proportion first allows for symmetrical growth, which is the fastest and easiest growth possible because you're finally working with your body and genetics instead of working against them. Tip number 2, you want to slash soy and processed foods from your diet. These foods create an estrogenic reaction in the body, which just kills your chance of losing fat and building muscle while giving you what Arnold would call a girly man look, which really is just a huge problem with guys today. Number 3, never bulk then cut. Bulking then cutting is terrible for your physique, your health, and attaining your adonis golden ratio. Not only do you end up carrying unsightly blubber and strain your organs, but the extra fat just kills your testosterone levels and raises your estrogen, putting you in the exact opposite hormonal environment you need to be in. In other words, say hello to man boobs. So now that you've learned some things to stop doing, it's time to show you the exact solution I've used to attain my Adonis golden ratio, and literally tens of thousands of guys just like you have used it to attain theirs, and that you can use to attain yours. It's the solution that's taken a better part of 10 years of my life to perfect, to the point that it's been called the perfect body formula by the most well-respected fitness publication in the world. I would like to introduce you to the Adonis Golden Ratio 12-week system. This system is designed and guaranteed to quickly kill your stubborn stomach fat and deliver your leanest, most muscular physique genetically possible without drugs.